So much to talk about here. Howard Lutnick just volunteered to testify about Jeffrey Epstein before anyone could subpoena him. There's now a push to subpoena Trump's own Attorney General, Pam Bondi, over the DOJ's handling of the files. And Bill Gates, Leon Black, and Goldman Sachs' general counsel, they've all been called. But starting with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, he's been under enormous pressure to face the House Oversight Committee over his ties to Epstein. And it eventually got to the point yesterday where he volunteered, telling Axios, "I look forward to appearing before the committee. I have done nothing wrong, and I want to set the record straight." And the interview is going to be held behind closed doors with a transcript to follow. And with this, you had Committee Chairman James Comer commending Lutnick for what he called his demonstrated commitment to transparency and his willingness to engage with the committee. Though regarding that, and also why this testimony matters, is last year you had Lutnick claiming that he only visited Epstein at his New York home once and had no real relationship with him.
I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
But the Epstein files show a very different story. They show the two communicated over the span of a decade, including after Epstein was convicted of sex crimes. And in fact, he visited Epstein's island in 2012 and is photographed with him there. So the committee, or at least some of the people on that committee, they're almost certainly going to be pressing him on why his public statements don't match the record. But Lutnick, he's not the only target. During a hearing this morning, you had Representative Nancy Mace making a motion to subpoena Trump's own Attorney General, Pam Bondi.
Chairman, I move that the committee issue a subpoena to the Honorable Pamela Jo Bondi to appear before the committee for a deposition regarding the department's handling of the investigation to Jeffrey Epstein and his associates.
And this is coming as you have reports repeatedly alleging that the DOJ has been removing Epstein files with tens of thousands taken down for review, including files containing allegations against Trump. And you had Representative Ro Khanna backing the motion, posting that the afternoon vote would determine whether to stand with survivors or the Epstein class. And then actually, just as I was wrapping up today's show, Khanna announced that the motion to subpoena Bondi actually passed by a vote of 24-19, with 5 Republicans joining Democrats here. And so you have outlets like the New York Times emphasizing that this is really a striking rebuke to see Republicans compel a member of the Trump administration to testify. But then it also doesn't stop with just Lutnick and Bondi, because Comer's now announced that he has asked a long list of other major names to testify, including Microsoft founder Bill Gates, Goldman Sachs' general counsel Catherine Rumler, billionaire Leon Black, and 4 others, with each receiving a letter stating the committee believes you have information that will assist in its investigation. Now Gates, he's denied wrongdoing, but he recently apologized to staff at his foundation for ever associating with Epstein. And there you had a spokesperson saying that he welcomes the opportunity to answer questions. And then with Rumler, who's resigning from Goldman Sachs over her Epstein ties, she said that she knew of no crimes but is happy to cooperate. And Leon Black, who is one of Epstein's biggest financial clients and a major source of income for him, issued a similar statement. And again, all of these interviews are going to be held behind closed doors and transcribed. But also, you have lawmakers like Mace arguing that the list needs to be much, much longer, pushing for people including Woody Allen, Peter Attia, Steve Bannon, and Harvey Weinstein. But with all that, if you're like, why does it sound like a name is missing? Yeah, Donald Trump isn't being named here. He is the one person that Democrats are most focused on getting in that chair. And so far, the one person that Republicans have shown zero interest in calling. And so, it's worth noting that the Epstein investigation is widening faster than really at any point since the files were released. Lutnick is testifying, Bondi just got subpoenaed, Gates, Black, and Rumler, they've all been called, and the DOJ is facing serious questions about whether it's been selectively removing files. So, widening and leading to accountability are two very different things. And you have behind closed doors depositions with transcripts released later, still leaving room for spin. The biggest name in the files still hasn't been called. And as every day drags on without a public, under oath accounting from the people who appear most frequently in the records, survivors are left waiting for a justice system that keeps promising transparency while delivering it in carefully controlled doses. And so in the meantime, we try to remain hopeful, but also, we'll see where all of this goes and whether any of it actually moves the needle. Will it get to a point where we actually do get accountability?